My gosh, anime industry has a serious problem. It has got a serious leaking problem. My gosh, this is probably one of the biggest leaks that we've had in the anime industry in a long, long time. Now, I will say they're not good quality leaks, but they're still leaks. But I was telling somebody that it feels like every single season there's leaks. And I always feel like a lot of the leaks are kind of connected to different expos because a lot of anime expos, a lot of these companies will get like pre-screenings of different anime series. So you have like the first couple episodes or whatever, and then for some reason those get out into the public. Those episodes get out before it actually officially airs. And that's a big detrimental thing to the anime industry, and I'll get more on that in a bit. But yes, this particular leak, like I said, massive, lot of episodes, but they're all very poor quality ones, mainly used for during production and whatnot. We have 6 episodes of Dandadan, which is probably one of the biggest hype series coming up. So I can only imagine what kind of impact this early leak will have for that. Several episodes of Ranma 1/2's new remake. The Terminator series, that whole thing is leaked. The Mononoke film has been released. And yes, the first episode of ReZero Season 3 has been released. It's just leaking everywhere. Leaks everywhere. Now, ReZero is the oddball out. That one isn't actually, I think, a full quality one. I didn't really look into most all of these because I just really don't want to look into them. But just looking at the articles and the news coming out from it, the clips and whatnot, ReZero Season 3 apparently is part of the France-Japanese Expo 2024. So that one's like supposedly a good quality version of it, which that is really sucky because now I have to avoid Season 3 spoilers like way before it even comes out. We still have like several months before that even comes out, and I got to avoid that now. But everything else, all the other ones are like early production sampling and whatnot. So they're like 360p. They're like literally like old flip phone size quality screens here. And they're all timestamped and they have their watermarks that are blurred out. Which what that indicates to me is these are typically versions that are sent out to different groups to get things set up for them. So if a company needs to do subtitling for it and timing the subtitles, they'll send this really low quality version of it to them. Or if you might have, okay, do the dub for this, so they'll give that to them, and so they'll know where to time the actual dub. These aren't meant for actual release. These are poor quality. There's timestamps all over it. There's numbers, there's watermarks everywhere. But they're still getting out there. The commonality that it seems between all of these, except for, again, the ReZero one, which again is from that expo, all these seem to be, except for one, connected to a particular company. Netflix. These are Netflix stuff. And so, I mean, yeah, some of these are going to be on Crunchyroll as well, but Netflix is the commonality across all these. I mean, Terminator especially. It's only Netflix. That does indicate that the only other one, which is Mononoke Movie, which I don't think has been announced yet, that sort of indicates that's probably going to be on Netflix. But it seems like somebody at Netflix probably gave this out to somebody in order to do dubs or subtitles, and then that got out to somebody else. Now, it could be hacking. That's a possibility too. I'm not sure why the hacking would release just this stuff, unless there's some other stuff that I'm not aware of, but it seemed to imply that somebody put these out there. And there's even some whispers that I've seen here and there that are saying that more of shows like Dandadan, Ranma 1/2 is going to get out as well. Like they're saying this isn't it. There's more stuff coming. Now, I don't know how to the validity of those comments, but there's several people now saying, hey, more's coming. And that sucks. That honestly sucks. I kind of have this same feeling every single season. Like I was saying, it feels like every single season there's going to be stuff leaked out. And a lot of them seem like they're connected to Expos. Expo has a couple episodes airing or shown their screen there, and then those somehow get out to the public. And again, they're usually higher quality. And I always hate that because it feels like it sort of ruins the hype around these series. And I agree with a lot of people that are right now saying, hey, please don't spread this stuff out. This is very impactful to the hard work that people put into it. And I really do agree with that. There's a lot of people that worked on these projects. They're really excited about it. They're excited for people to check them out. And there's a twofold impact here. The first impact is that people are going to be watching these 360p quality versions with watermarks and blurs everywhere, and they're not going to get the full experience of what the studios and the animators did to put into that project, that passion that they put into it, and they're excited for people to see it. Now everybody's going to get a poor quality of it, and it's going to impact their experience of it. Additionally, you have the aspect that, yeah, technically there's going to be a lot of people that will check these out and not end up watching the actual show. Maybe the quality of it's being so terrible or whatever gives them a bad experience, or just simply it impacts the market and the idea that people seen that there, got their feel of it, decide not to watch it. They don't sub to a certain certain company in order to watch the actual show and check it out. That impacts them directly as well. So there's a lot of sucky aspects to this. And yes, the other one, that's a me problem, that's a fandom problem, is that, yeah, now we all have to worry about clips of it everywhere. There's going to be clips everywhere. And yes, technically you can get spoiled other ways, like, manga spoilers or light novel spoilers, but you do have the effect that comes from this, is that now there's spoilers everywhere and you're having to avoid it. You're having to avoid the openings and the EDs and all that kind of stuff. And it really does suck. And I don't like this. I have the same argument that comes from everything else. I think I got into this in great detail with my I don't want anime to get popular video that I made. And that's that this is going to get worse. Sadly, this is going to get worse. Until these companies, I think there's a twofold thing here. It's going to get worse because anime is getting more and more popular. There's a lot of companies that are now wanting to get into anime. The fandom around anime is growing and growing exponentially every single year. And thus, with more people interested in it, there's more benefit to leaking. There's more of ability for these leakers to get attention by leaking things out, even if it's going to impact the companies. They don't care about these animators. They don't care about these studios. They don't care about these companies, because all they think of is, I can get clicks if I can get this out here early. And then everybody else starts spreading it because they want the clicks too. It's really sucky. And I'm making a video on it to get clicks as well. But I'm not going to show you anything. I'm not going to show you anything. But the other thing that I was talking about there was just the aspect of people leaking out what studios are working on what certain projects before there's an actual official announcement. It really does suck. But I think with that, these companies need to start taking what they're doing seriously. It almost feels like Netflix. It almost feels like these dubbing companies and these subtitling companies, they're not taking this stuff seriously. I don't know if it could be Netflix isn't taking the subtitling and the dubbing of these titles seriously and doing proper contracts to ensure this stuff doesn't get out. And I think it's going to simply take one of these Japanese companies really saying, stop leaking our stuff out, and slapping them on the wrist very, very hard before they start taking this stuff seriously. Because again, with the growing popularity of anime, there's a growing initiative or a desire to get those leaks out and get that attention, that they have to take that in consideration. This stuff isn't just kids shows. Netflix, wake up. And now granted, Netflix was a big part of why anime got popular in the West, whether people want to believe it or not, getting their feet inside of Japan with Netflix Japan. But still, they have to take it seriously and actually guard these properties. Again, for the sake of those that work on it, the actual property owners, and again, the studios that work so hard on them. It's a sad state that we're in right now. I really do hope they fix this stuff up, get this stuff corrected. I hope people aren't checking these out. It's just kind of a waste of your time if you think about it. Don't worry about trying to be a part of the conversation. You don't need to get out there and watch these really poor quality versions of them. Just wait until they get their actual release. Go pirate them at that point if you don't want to pay for these companies like Crunchyroll, Netflix. Just don't ruin the experience overall by rushing this stuff. Yes, I'm not advocating for you to pirate the show. I'm just saying people are going to do it anyways. I'm not their parents. I'm just saying don't ruin your experience by rushing after these leaks. That all said, yes, there's a lot of NDAs and whatnot. And again, I think if Japan really does slap companies like Netflix, they really need to slap whoever they're working with as well. They should have really, really solid NDAs laid out. And if somebody's breaking that stuff, I think this particular leak right here should have some massive repercussions, especially if it's the same group and a singular party that was actually doing this, which makes sense since the scale of it itself. Somebody needs to have some massive legal action taken upon them, because again, this is going to probably cost them a lot of money. There's going to be a lot less hype for this stuff. There's going to be a lot of people that aren't going to check out these things because they got a little sample already. All these different details that are going to really impact the bottom dollar. And somebody obviously needs to have some sort of legal action taken upon them. Anyhow, that's my thoughts on this massive, massive leak. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, hit that like button down below, comment. Let me know what you think of this whole situation. Did you go out and watch all these things? Or are you like, nope, I'll just wait for the full release? Let me know. Definitely appreciate you guys for checking out the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you like this content and you're new here, make sure to subscribe before you leave. If you want to support the channel more, I have links in the description below. Greatly appreciate it, but it supports the channel. And until next time, y'all take care.